Sup, internet. Lord have mercy. I need to stop being such a slob and actually clean my vanity for once. But does anybody else think it's Monday? Because I almost didn't even film until I realized, oh crap, I need to actually film. And oh my gosh, that's like hardly even blended. Oh well. Yeah, that holiday messed me up. So, the only reason I'm going to discuss this topic is because I had this conversation weeks ago with one of my subscribers, and I'm still saying, oh my god, what the fuck? So, just, I don't get it, guys. Oh, and I'm gonna be using this because I can't remember what I used last week, quite honestly, or if I did use it. But I was supposed to be filming an unboxing, but FedEx did not deliver as they said that they would. So I have to wait another day to figure out whether or not I got gypped out of a mystery bag for FabFitFun. So yeah, there's that, another day of waiting to figure out if I wasted my money or not. Because I always say I'm never going to do it again, and yet here I am. Yeah. That's just been the week of my life. Anywho, like you guys really cared, right? The topic that is still making me go, what the fuck, is healthcare and how much it costs in the Canada, because I was discussing it with one of my subscribers, because I don't know why I even asked him about, like, I used knee surgery for an example, like, because I do actually have a friend on here. She said that she had to have ankle surgery or something like that, but she had to wait for her surgery. And I was always told that some people, they just fly down here to the States so that they don't have to wait. But they gotta pay. And I'm just like, all right, that's their money, I guess, whatever. Anyway. So, he gave me the lowdown. By the way, his name is Christian. He's very nice, beautiful family, and all that kind of fun stuff. But I asked him about the whole knee surgery thing, because, I don't know, why would you have to wait for it? And I was like, okay, so what if like an 80-year-old needed knee surgery, but a 26-year-old needed a knee surgery as well? And he's like, well, the 80-year-old would get it first because he paid into the system. And I'm like, I guess that's fair, but then the 26-year-old is going to be out of work and not being able to pay into the system. But that wasn't the most shocking part. He was like, do you realize that for every Canadian dollar I earn, 52 cents of that goes to pay for the healthcare here? And I was like, excuse me, what? Did you just tell me you get paid 48 cents an hour? And, you know, I didn't actually ask how much he makes, because technically it's going to be half anyway. But that kind of freaked me out, because I know down here they're trying to push for the $15 an hour minimum wage, which, yeah, that's great and everything. But we also know that's the next thing that they're going to push is free healthcare, which, again, that's really great and everything, but not if I'm going to be paying 52 cents out of every dollar that I earn, because that means even at $15 an hour, I'd still only be making $7.50 an hour, and that's like only, what, 25 cents more than minimum wage here now? And then I know everybody's going to be like, well, yeah, but we're not going to pay for the healthcare here. And it's like, well, yeah, but you still have to pay for your medicine in Canada. They don't pay for your medicine. Because I know Ashley has to be on a compassion program for hers, because she's got like a chronic illness, but her medicine is like $2,000 a month, but it's not free. So I'm just trying to figure all this out. Because I know I complain about having to pay $200 something a week for our health insurance. But that's roughly like 1 day a week that my husband has to work to pay for our health insurance. And I'm just like, bruh. And that includes a prescription plan. Now, I was also told that, I know Ashley's going to be like, oh my God, you're just talking all this stuff and you didn't get all the facts. I guess her dad had a factory job up in Canada, and I guess they offered health insurance like they do over at my husband's job, where I guess they would pay for the medicine. So I don't know. Why would you need a separate plan if it's free health insurance? And I don't know. I'm just mind boggled because the whole conversation went from like whether or not it's free healthcare to long ER waits. So I asked Ashley and K-Dog, because they're in the Canada too, which they're probably going to smack the shit out of me for even calling it Canada, but they're in Canada. Because Christian said that in some provinces, the wait for an ER is between or up to 18 hours. And K-Dog's, he says, I believe he said his was up to 12 hours. And Ashley said that, and I'm not even going to try to say her name because it's Life with something, but we all call her Ankle Song. Maybe she'll be nice and comment. But it used to be between 5 and 10 hours, but it somehow improved, and now it's only between 2 and 5 hours. So I guess we could move to where Ashley lives if we need the ER, but I'm just like, what do you do if you go to the emergency room knowing that you're going to have to wait up to 18 hours? Because people complain about that down here. I know I seen a video on the interwebs somewhere about this poor lady in Bentob that actually died in the waiting room. And I don't know, y'all could probably actually search it up on here. Just like, I know it was at Bentob Hospital and the lady had died in the waiting room. And I didn't expect the conversation with me and Christian to get that deep. But is that it was like really funny that we had started talking about knee surgery and such, because he said he had actually had a friend that was lucky enough, I sensed the sarcasm immediately, to actually die of cancer waiting for his knee surgery. And I was like, yikes. Dear Lord. That's sad. Very, very sad. And yes, I'm not even getting anything done because I'm just like, 48 freaking cents an hour. What? And the exchange rate is just insane. Holy shit. The last time I bought something on eBay, it was actually pretty cheap for me because at the time the exchange rate was, I think, 76 cents to $1 or something like that. I just know I was paying 76 cents when American dollars, and it's just like, I felt really bad after I found out about the whole half of $1 goes to the healthcare and stuff, and I'm just like, bro. So, from what I gather, because I did actually ask about, mental health care and stuff like that, and I guess it's pretty much like it is here. If, you're really in need, then they'll ship you off or whatever, But I guess if you're just Christian had said if you're just a random homeless person, they'll just do the 48-hour and then let you go and wait for the next meltdown, which that sounds like the American mental health care system, so there's that. But then we got into the subject, or he actually brought it up, whereas everybody in Canada is equal, even the doctors. But the doctors can actually afford to go down to New York and get like said knee surgery that they would need. But I guess here in the States, the healthcare system would be kind of, I guess, since we have a two-tier system, so to speak. I know we have the state care, the Medicaid, and then people with private insurance. And, hospitals sit there and say, we don't give any different care. Bullshit. Yeah, you do. Because I actually went in there needing a blood transfusion and they didn't realize that I actually had health insurance. And they're like talking really softly, oh, she doesn't have health insurance. And I was like, excuse me, my doctor is right down the fucking hall. Would you like to go call him up and get my insurance information before you treat me? But that's beside the point. Anyway. I'm still a little bit salty about that. But see, then we have these compassion programs. My husband's friend, years ago, he got sick. And that bill had to have been like a good 20, maybe even 30 grand because, he had to be on a vent and everything. I don't still know what the hell was wrong with him. Maybe he smoked too much fucking pot, personally, because that's all he wanted to do. But I didn't like the guy much. Anyway, he got some weird lung infection. And the hospital just basically said, you're not even working, so we're just going to go put you on this program. And I was like, well, I guess that's good for you, but I could have chosen a family that would have probably needed that help more than some guy who doesn't want to apply himself, but that's neither here nor there. It wasn't my decision to make. Again, probably a little bit salty about that. Probably just because I think the guy's an asshole anyway, but there's that. He didn't deserve it, I don't think, but whatever. Anyway. Am I even trying to do makeup at this point? I know Christian also brought up a very good point. If we actually went to Canada's system of one, where I guess we would all be like Medicaid and have to wait and everything, what would happen to the Mayo Clinic? Because we do have that opportunity here in the States. And I'm kind of upset that I didn't even ask him about St. Jude's, because then the conversation went to occasionally, like every 5 or 6 years, we'll have like a news story about how the government isn't going to pay for somebody's cancer treatment, or basically he said some kid's cancer treatment, because I believe we had that issue in Italy, I think was the last one I heard about, where I guess the medication was too expensive and the government wasn't going to pay it. And I'm just like, this is a child. Could you just try? And then everybody gets all riled up and then they forget about it. But down here we have St. Jude's, where it's basically testing. So I never even thought to ask anybody about whether or not St. Jude was just for Americans, which I assume they aren't, because they say in their commercials that nobody is turned down. And I can't honestly see them turning down somebody from any other country saying, oh, well, you're not an American. Just no, I can't see St. Jude doing that, honestly, because, they want to help the kids. They want to get treatments and stuff like that. But I never thought to ask him if anybody actually came down to the Mayo Clinic from Canada. But even those with insurance, the Mayo Clinic is expensive as hell. But I guess if you want to live that much, then money is no object to some people. So there's that. But I'm just still in shock about the amount of money it costs. I'm just like, oh my god. If I'm paying that much and I still have to pay for medicine and wait at least 10 hours in the emergency room, it wouldn't be worth it to me, but that's just me. I don't know. This wasn't a topic to like bash. It's more of like, oh my god, 48 cents an hour. Because I know when people are actually applying for jobs, most of them, we think in terms of, okay, well, how much money is it going to cost for gas to get there? So I got to figure out how much that's going to take out of my check. What about, what kind of insurance does it cover? Am I going to be working overtime to actually make a check? You know, I mean, can I actually live if I do not get overtime? I mean, and I know some people who actually apply for jobs because they know that that's going to be constantly overtime, which that's not really the best plan. But hey, you do what you got to do to pay your bills. But if somebody says that if you're giving over half of your dollar that you're earning for health care, and yet you still have to pay for your prescriptions, which I don't even know where Big Pharma is going to come in if that happens, because I know a lot of people who would actually just, stop going to the doctor, unfortunately. Because a prescription plan is a main seller on a lot of people's health insurance. Because some people, they're like, well, I don't go to the doctor that much because I don't get sick, but I do have to take heart medicine or something like that. So I'm just... This was no conspiracy. This was just Melissa being like, oh my god, that's really freaking expensive. And then on top of that, you have to pay regular prices for your prescriptions. Or I guess if you get like a good RX or whatever thingy. But I'm trying to figure out how it's going to work though, guys. Because I know that that's going to be a big thing that people are going to push in the next election, which that and the student loan things, which those are predatory loans as it is. I don't know why those companies are not being held responsible, but it is what it is on that. I mean, down here, there's a lot of teachers actually telling the kids don't even bother because there's no sense in, unless you get a full ride to college, you'll be lucky to graduate with $60,000 in debt. And that's just, that's no way to start life, man. So I know a lot of people are pushing trade schools and technical colleges and stuff like that down here. So there's that, which I don't even think I got much makeup on, which I guess it's good because it's like 11 o'clock now. And I don't have a box to film. But yeah, that was this week's What the Fuck, because even now, I figured, if I talked about it, it wouldn't be so bad and I'd be able to calm down. But I mean, we're not even going to get into the conversation that me and Ashley had about how expensive it is to travel in Canada, which, good lord. I guess it's like up into the thousands of dollars just to take a 2-day trip. And I'm like, yeah, I got the internet. I can look at the pretty pictures. That's what I would do because I'm cheap. Anyway, I'm still saying what the fuck. I mean, why's everything gotta be so expensive, guys? I don't know. I don't think we'll find a solution for that for quite some time, I guess. But anyway, I'm gonna have to upload this so that it's actually on time because, like I said, I almost waited and then it dawned on me that it was actually Tuesday. So y'all would have had Wtf Wednesday on a Thursday, or I probably would have said fuck it and skipped it. So there's that. Anyway, I gotta go. Bye, internet!